Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 has been released, but only in early access, so any opinions that I give in this video are subject to change as the game is developed in the future. Path of Exile 2 makes you feel like you're playing a Souls-like game in the world of Ray class. There will be times where you're mowing down mobs just like in the OG, and other times where you're replaying a boss 14 times because you can't dodge that one move or you run out of health flasks. While this plays in the background, let me take a chance to explain what I want to do with this video. In this video, I hope to go over some of the big differences between Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile 1 so that people who are familiar with the first game know what to expect in this game. Path of Exile 2 is a PoE-like ARPG. Get it? It was developed by Grinding Gear Games, just like the first one. By the way, I did kill this boss. The story starts with a cinematic illustrating how the Count of Agam is trying to harness the power of corruption to, well, be powerful. This leads to mutations and madness across the land, and it's up to you, along with your hooded companion who might remind you of a character from a different game, to confront the bad dudes and battle against the corruption. One main thing to note about this game is that it's built on the same engine as Path of Exile 1. Just to prove it, here are the menu settings. They're pretty similar to Path of Exile 1. One difference is that Path of Exile 2 is playable with a controller or mouse and keyboard, but the mouse and keyboard does have a WASD option, which is becoming more prevalent in this type of game. This allows you to more easily move while attacking instead of having to do a back and forth stutter step. As you can see, this is toggleable in the settings, but you can't hot swap and do both at the same time. It does automatically change your hotkeys as well. Also, because they're using the same engine, the system settings are very much the same as the previous game. Just remember to take the recommended settings with a grain of salt once you potentially get to wacky things in the endgame content. We will be doing a full review of this game later, but for now let's go over just some of the main things that are different. One thing that's different is that there are no more portal scrolls. Now if you want to go back to town, you just hit your portal button and you can open a portal after a short delay. Another change in this game is that you can roll. Rolling gets you out of a tight position quickly, but doesn't give you iframes like it does in a game like Elden Ring. Rolling can be used to animation cancel to get you out of a tight spot before an enemy hits you. Because of the lack of phasing in this game or ability to move through enemies, you can get cornered, and this is one of the primary ways that I have died while playing this game so far. This can be particularly frustrating because some enemies are fast and have random effects like the ability to siphon your flasks, and if you're out of life flasks, it can be very dangerous because you soon might be out of life. Luckily, if you do die, there are checkpoints you'll pick up along the way like this. If you respawn at them, so do the enemies. Some of the usability of this game is different too. Instead of socketing gems into gear, which you can no longer do, you instead socket gems right into your character. You can have a set number of them. Each gem has a number of supports available for it, and you can socket them right into these sockets on your gem. Instead of skill gems dropping like they did in the first game, instead you'll get an uncut skill gem. An uncut skill gem has a level, and you can craft a gem based on this uncut skill gem just by right-clicking on it and choosing which one you want. There are some restrictions on which ones you can get based on the level of the uncut skill gem and the current weapon you have equipped, but you can feel free to mix and match to your heart's desire. At the bottom of the list, you can click a button to view all of the skills in case you don't want to have to search through by weapon type. Support gems work the same way. There's an uncut support gem which can be used to look at all the different support gems. Support gems don't level the exact same way as skill gems, but do have their own tiers as you get higher and further into the game. These mechanics don't make the game drastically different, but they do change how you play through the campaign a bit. You can change your skills right in the middle of the campaign very easily without worrying about having to use a level 1 gem again. If I had to review Path of Exile 2 in one word, it would be difficult. Oftentimes boss fights will look like this, where you're going to get pummeled in order to learn how the fight actually works. This will probably happen more than once, as you could see from the intro of this video. Eventually though, you'll figure out how the fight works and you'll be able to succeed. One thing worth noting is that the entire community is still learning how this game works. Sometimes it looks like I'm not doing very much damage, but that could just be because I'm not synergizing all of my skills very well. I'm sure other people are having a much better time in the damage department than I am. While this is a successor to Path of Exile 1, it is not the same game. It is supposed to be different. We're going to learn how this game differs over time. More on that in the full review later, though. Just to reiterate again, expect a lot of things like this in your playthrough.
Watch out for the green blob that's floating towards you.
This one killed me a little bit, Poke. Yeah, the one that you are fighting now.
This one killed you? What does scrub do?
So this attack.
Oh my god!
What'd you say? What'd you say?
That was
What'd you
perfect.
say?
That was perfect timing.
What'd you say, bitch?
Overall, on our 0 to 1 scale, we give this game a... Nah, we're not rating this yet out of 1. Wait till the full review. I don't have enough time in this game to rate it yet. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe, and let us know if you like Path of Exile 1 or 2 better.